On. All right, guys, this is the Part of My Jerk podcast. We're coming at you for our day 3 analysis and recap of the 2021 NOBULL CrossFit Games. What's up, Dunc?
What's going on, man?
It's weird getting used to you being back again.
I know.
Your hiatus.
I'm becoming a regular again.
I don't want to get too comfortable. So day 2 of individual and team events are in the books. No age groups, no adaptive today. We'll talk about them at a later date. It's just it's a late one tonight, even for a Friday.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure. I don't want to be on forever, but I want to make sure we get this podcast its due diligence, because we have 5 very interesting events that I want to dive into today.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of events, more events than I expected there to be today. I was kind of thinking it would be 4 at the most, but with the events that they did, I understand why they did 5.
Yeah. So before we dive into going to event by event, anything jump off the screen to you? Any storylines?
The amount of people that are just withdrawing.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. There's barely cuts.
Yeah, there was only 4 cuts for the women.
Yeah, so we lost now to injuries. We've now lost Danny Spiegel, Adrian Moonwheeler, Sam Stewart. Feel free to jump in.
I think Sean Sweeney withdrew for some reason.
Yeah, he had a bicep strain. Danny Spiegel rolled her ankle.
Cara Saunders, I think it was a mental health thing.
What was that?
I think it was more of a mental health thing, not a sick thing.
You think?
Yeah, she posted something on her Instagram talking about how her head wasn't there, and she dealing with the COVID stuff, and then all of the stuff to get out of Australia, plus not this being the first time she's ever been away from her kid. I think hers was. I could be wrong, but I think hers was more of a mental health thing as opposed to a actual injury.
Plus the standard Carrie Pierce, Bethany Shadburn. Side note: Larissa Kuhnhard. Did you hear what she tested positive for?
No, I did not.
It's weird. I can't believe how many tainted supplements are floating around out there, because she tested positive for SARM, Osterine.
I'm a novice when it comes to knowing any of that stuff. So
it's very much a banned substance. I mean, she's in South America. Some of the stuff floating around out there might not be to the same quality that we get up here.
Right.
But yeah, I was like, that's okay.
Yeah, there was only 4 cuts for the men too.
Yeah, for the men, we had Alexander Ilin also dropped out. Sam Stewart, Sean Sweeney, Adrian Moonwheeler. Yeah. So the official last place, not accounting for, is Roy Gamboa.
That's kind of surprising. I didn't expect it to be him in the last place.
But he was another one, man, that Moonwheeler, I'm watching him, I'm like, this guy's not right. You know what I mean? Cara Saunders, I'm watching her, I'm like, something's not right with her. Even Tim Paulson, who easily also could have pulled out, I'm like, Gamboa's another one. I'm like, something just didn't seem right with him. Same with Noah Olson, man. Noah Olson.
Something's a little off.
Something is off with him. I don't know if his shoulder is still bothering him, or if the guy had more crystals in his pee hole again. But
Jesus.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are low on Noah Olson, but come on, man. The guy, I think the lowest he's ever taken in the games is 15th place.
Yeah, he's sitting. And what's he sitting right now? He's in 12. I mean, he's in 12th.
But he's just not sharp.
It doesn't feel like it's like one of those empty box scores you get from. It's like a bad box score from LeBron. It's he played like crap, but he put up 25, 10 and 10.
Right, and I'm gonna check it real quick. I feel like he has no top 10 finishes.
He's got 1 or 2 top 10. 1 6th place and 1 10th place.
He has 2 10th place finishes and a 6th.
Yep.
Outside of that, everything else is in the teens and 20s.
Yeah, and the 6th place finish was the thruster wall walk event where he hugged Dave Castro for announcing it. So You know, he went into that one thinking he was going to win.
Yeah, for real, man. Yeah. So okay, so enough about they're gone, whatever. Well, first so the cut line officially before I say what I want to say. So the cut line officially. So we're gonna lose going into tomorrow, or I guess unofficially, we're gonna drop Colton Mertens, Augustin Richelme, Yorgos Carabas, and Roy Gamboa on the men's side, to my knowledge.
Yeah.
And then on the women's side, again, pretty short cut. We're gonna drop Sasha Nievas, Michelle Basnet, Caroline Connors, and Sun Young Choi are 4 that are going to be whose weekend will be proceeding further without them.
I'm sorry. What?
Go ahead. What did you say?
Were you asking me a question?
No. But no, I did want to talk. So instead of continue to harp on people that are having disappointing weekends, who's impressed you so far? I've got a handful here that really impressed me.
I think there's 2 that I've been impressed with the most. Laura Horvath, she just kind of came back from the dead. Mm-hmm. I know we haven't had any handstand push-ups yet, and I'll be curious to see how that goes when it happens. And then Christy Aramo O'Connell. Yeah,
she's been
like lights out.
She took a dive here. She's still good at taking a bit of a bath on the last couple events. She's dropped down to 7th.
The clean ladder, I was shocked.
Yeah, that was very. But it's not even just that. Until these last 2 events, I mean, she's been equally as competitive as Haley Adams, if not more. She's been very impressive.
I've been impressed with Haley Adams too. I just that 6th and 7th workout, obviously not great for her.
And we're going to talk about that workout and what I did not like about it.
But literally every other workout has been top 8 and 11th place finish. She's been great in every other workout of the weekend.
Absolutely. Men's side, I had high hopes for Saxon. I didn't think he'd be making it this high. Dude, he's been awesome.
The men's side there's been a lot of like pleasant surprises.
Yeah. Actually, you're right. There's a lot. I mean, probably too many for us to really dive into right now, because there's so many international, European, that are performing at such an unbelievable level right now.
Well, I think we were all high on Medeiros, but I don't know if we were first place high. I mean, you might have been.
Oh, I was.
Alex Vigneault kind of coming back from the 2018 self, 2017 self, and then this Guillermo Malheiros.
Yeah.
He looks legit, man.
The thing about this Malheiros guy, this Guy Malheiros, I think he's a guy. Yes, he's performed well. I think he got and another athlete like Royce Dunn is another one today that just got a real good dice roll on the workouts, because I think Guy Malheiros is like, you look at the events he's been strong in, and it's just like, this dude's just a super high wattage athlete. Mm-hmm. He's strong. He's explosive. He's going to give you an insane amount of power output for a short period of time. And if you put him in a workout like that, watch out. Right. The 550-yard run, he was phenomenal. The clean ladder, he was phenomenal. Like, you can probably see a workout on paper and like, okay, watch out for Guy on this one. Other ones he's going to take a bath on.
Right. He's been relatively consistent, minus a few.
I've been loving Scott Panchik, man. What we've been seeing out of him. Like, first of all, the guy has like something like 2 torn ACLs. Like, both of his knees are completely blown out.
It is bizarre how well he's doing with those poor of knees.
Yeah, and listen to his finishes so far: 24th, 3rd, 36th, 1st, 30th, 7th, 14th, 1st, 27th.
I think
it'd put him in 13th overall.
I think it'd be pretty safe to say if he had 2 good knees, he'd be in the top 3.
He'd be definitely up, because what we've seen here. So he said on Sevon the other day, he said he can't remember the last time he squatted anything over 275.
I didn't know that, but that's wild.
And then so the stuff that we've been seeing though, we're like the handstand walk, like a lot of the stuff you're looking at, like okay, Scott Panchik doesn't have two good legs, so he's just been drilling the stuff he can do, and it shows.
Right. Yeah.
You know, he had his best swim event of his entire career. He finished 24th in that swim event, but it was his best event of his career. Yeah, so just a few names that jumped off the page. Maybe we can talk all night about these, and we'll probably, when the games are over, sort of give our due diligence and unpack each athlete the way they should be.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first event we had today was 4 rounds, 4 rope climbs, a 5/400 meter ski, and I think it was a 42-foot Whosofels carry. Was that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do you think?
I thought the workout was fine. I wish that the Whosofels would have been like more a difficult part of the workout. You know, like the Whosofels never looked hard for anyone other than Jason Hopper.
I don't even think it was that hard for Jason Hopper. I think Hopper gassed himself on that skier. Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
And he just couldn't breathe, and that was just the end of it.
Yeah.
Okay, look, hold on. Before we even keep going, let's talk about Jason Hopper for a second.
Okay.
I would have bet my house that Jason Hopper was going to blow himself out and get time capped on that workout. Not because Jason Hopper doesn't have the capacity to give a strong performance on that workout, but because I know Jason Hopper had a day to sit in his hotel room and just be pissed off and curmudgeon and just think about his poor performance on day one. And he was like, I'm going to go out and I'm going to win the entire CrossFit Games on one event. I knew he was going to fire out of there like a bat out of hell. Like from the first set of rope climbs, I'm like, this isn't going to last.
I mean, the dude has been, for the last month and a half, he's been getting gassed up by everybody in CrossFit, thinking he was like the second coming of Matt Frazier. And I was even there. Like I was on board. And
this motherfucker told Brian Friend he should be the #1 ranked man in CrossFit going into the games because he's the only man in CrossFit that is undefeated. He's never. He said to Brian Friend, "I've never lost, so I should be #1." He truly believed he was going into it. I will win. It's on me to win this. No one should beat me.
I mean, that's fine to think in your own head, but that's not something you should tell people.
Right. Okay. Maybe I didn't word that super well, but like Pat Vellner said, like, he was like, if that dude thought he was going to come in here on day one and bully a bunch of seasoned veterans, he has another thing coming.
Oh yeah.
You know, I think this is a good to establish a little bit of humility for that young man.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's got potential. Just he needed to have his ego checked.
Yeah, which is, and that the fact that we're like that, those things why I've said, like, I kind of think the dude's full of shit.
I still think he can be one of the top athletes in a few years.
We don't need to go any further with it, but I'm just saying I watched that and I was like, I knew this dude was going to try and win everything on the first round of this workout. And I did that workout today. I did it in the gym, and it is a very easy workout to blow up on.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. But anyway, sorry, I cut you off. Please continue.
I mean, I like the workout. I just like there wasn't much room for like separation anywhere. It's like there was 4 rope climbs, which didn't really seem too difficult for anybody. And then I don't know how I felt about the 500 meter ski. It's kind of boring. It was boring. There's another movement where it's hard to separate. I prefer calories in those situations because like you can really put a power output in there and like separate yourself from the pack if you really want to. And the stone, it didn't affect anybody the way I think they would have hoped it to.
I really liked this workout, actually. One, I think we saw a lot. It's right in that sweet spot of that like sort of 8 to 12 minute range, right? Where we see the best workouts live in that area, that like 8 to 12 minute type of thing. So it was a little on the longer end because you had 8 minutes of skiing alone. I loved it because especially after I did it, that ski is much harder than it looks.
Oh, I'm sure. I think
harder.
for me,
you're going to see good athletes that were good on the skier separate themselves there. And I think the important nuance of this workout was it came down to how you had to appreciate the way they were pacing it. Yeah, some people were going quick on those rope climbs, but you had the athletes that did well were the ones that were smart enough to know what sort of pace they could hold on those rope climbs, because you were going to hopper yourself.
Yeah.
Right. Like, so that was the thing to appreciate. Like, how much could people actually push the pace on that rope? I thought it was an entertaining, solid test, like classic CrossFit triplet.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was fine. I think I'm more on the side of the stone just didn't do it for me. Like, it didn't do what I wanted it to do.
Yeah, it was like I love it. They're hyping it up and it's like it's just a sandbag. It's just a sandbag in a different shape than other sandbags. We've seen all the sandbag shapes.
It looked almost identical to the vortex thing that they had at Rogue, the Cyclone. Yeah, like it was the same shape almost.
It's just a sandbag. Like, yeah, they made such a big deal out of it, and it only weighed 200 pounds. Like, that was actually probably, if I could change one thing, it's like if we're trying to simulate a Whosofel and you're going to make it that like ergonomic triangular shape, make that motherfucker weigh 300 pounds to the men.
I also thought it should have been like it should have been a stone. Like, it should have been a hard box like thing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Which is what they do in the strongman competition. It's not a padded stone, but they manufacture the Whosofels stone for the strongman.
Yeah. There's a gentleman by the name of Derek Poundstone who also, or Hybrid probably makes them too. They make steel Whosofels that you can just load with whatever amount you want them to weigh. Mm-hmm. You know, that probably, because then what it does ends up turning into more of like a Zercher carry. Yeah, like your biceps are getting pulled in. And yeah, I feel that they maybe they just didn't want to damage the field. Maybe that's my best guess. But yeah, I'm kind of with you. I would have liked the Whosofel to be a little bit more of like a factor. But we also don't know how much those athletes were suffering either. That might have really
sucked. True. But, I mean, and then when they got to the end, they looked like they were suffering. So
yeah. And but I did that one today. I did 50-foot carries with the marshmallow shaped Rogue D balls.
Okay.
And that was the rest.
Yeah.
That was the rest period for the workout.
I'm sure.
But called my shot on that one too. My dude Fukowski did well.
Oh, of course he was going to do well. Did he win the event? Did he win the event, or did Vellner?
I think Vellner won. Vellner won it, I think.
Yeah.
But I said Vellner Fukowski. Now, full disclosure, I also call it Thor's daughter, David's daughter. David's daughter in particular, not a strong performance on that workout.
Yeah, she's had a couple, man, where it's like, oh, she's going to do okay, and then she just didn't.
Yeah, she's actually not doing great. I think she's in like 12th place right now.
Yeah. I saw somebody post on our Instagram page that watch out for Royce Dunn in that one, and I was pleasantly surprised to see Royce Dunn at the top of the leaderboard after seeing that.
Yeah, that was Dave, man. I was like, I'm like, good call. And I think Royce Dunn took like third or something. I think that went Vellner Fukowski Dunn, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Shit. Should have put money on that one. All right. Now the controversial event of the day. Let's talk about event 6 and event 7. I know you have some strong feelings about this one, so please share.
I got no feelings about event 6. I liked the event. I liked that event, but to do it twice, the same exact workout, essentially,
and make them both worth 100 points.
Yes, that's the problem, because you're doing a workout with a short run with heavy lifts. It's not like you're going from a long run with high reps, low weight to another workout with a short run with low reps, high weight.
Yeah.
You're essentially just doing the same workout twice. You know who's going to finish where.
Right.
You're giving 200 points to the same people. Like the leaderboard, it looks identical almost in both of those workouts.
I 100% agree with you. That workout really should have been like 7 bars with a 200-meter run, and then they start with they start at like 265, 265 for men, 175 for women, and then just go from there. Just make it one event, or make it 2 50-point events. Yeah. But making it 2 100-point events, basically. So now what you did is took Jeff Adler, who was getting his shit kicked in, and now all of a sudden he gets to the top of the leaderboard in essentially a 200-point event. Boom! Yeah. Now he's right back in the mix.
Or you have someone like Haley Adams, who has been at the top of the leaderboard the entire time, and she's obviously not strong, her problem, but it's just compounded by like having to do the same workout twice and be
Yeah,
worth
it was
200
just
points.
too much emphasis. It was just too much favor on the bar for sure, like on a heavy barbell.
I feel like I get what he was trying to do. It's like, all right, we did cuts 2 years ago. They complained about not having a heavy barbell. Let's just overload the heavy barbell for this, and that way nobody can complain. It just didn't work.
No, yeah, and I hate what it did to the leaderboard. But externally of that, I thought it was a really cool event. Event 6 was awesome. I just think they should just mush them into one event.
Yeah. Well, and it was a 6-minute workout. You could have made it a 10-minute workout and accomplished the same exact thing.
Right. Yeah, 100%. I think if you would have gone over 7 bars, like more than 7 bars, the 200-meter run would have became a little tenuous.
Yeah.
It's just you would have kind of lost interest, I feel like. But that'd have been my solution, or just make them 2 50-point events.
Because they could have even done the 200-meter run, and then after the 4th barbell, cut it in half like they did.
Right. And then like I was saying with Guy Malharris, it's like this guy has like just like a very, I think, pretty defined wheelhouse of what he's going to be strong at this point. So it's now he basically gets to take home like 3 event wins instead of 2. So he's probably a little overrepresented on the leaderboard given his capacity.
Yeah, because he's not shown out in very many other events.
Yeah.
So,
but as far as like the iterations of like the clean and snatch ladders we've seen, that's probably one of my favorite.
Yeah, I agree. I thought I was happy to see them add something to the ladder. It just they kind of botched it with the 2 events.
Yeah. That was a cool Coliseum workout too. From what I could tell, the crowd seemed like they were just losing their shit.
Dude, I would have been completely fine if they would have done this event and then done like the same event on like Sunday and just had it been like a snatch ladder instead. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like just change it up just a little bit, but don't put it back to back because like that's 2 workouts, but 3 workouts before you're going to make your cuts, your last cuts. And that affected it way too much, in my opinion.
Right. It puts Zach Watts above the cut line,
which he does not deserve.
No, he does not.
He does not.
Yeah. Okay. And then from there we got the handstand walk event.
It's just more of the same. Like we've seen the handstand walk before. I like that they made them go back down. Like that was nice, but I still think that they should have made them do like a bike sprint or something to wear them out a little bit before they did the obstacle course.
Yeah, they did that in 2018. They had them do the heavy double unders beforehand, but the course was much shorter. And I'm not actually certain that the heavy double unders really affected that very much.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're doing like 100 to 200 of them, it's not going to really bother them that much. But actually, I thought it was entertaining. I'm a fan of the like 1 to 3 minute workouts where like we can really get through the heats pretty quickly and get it moving, especially after having to sit through the same workout twice. It just made that all the better.
Yeah. Candidly, I fell asleep for part of the clean ladder. For the I dozed off for the first 1 or maybe 2 heats of the women's heat. I woke up, I was like, okay, all right, time to dial. Let's go. Yeah, the handstand. Well, I mean, it is what it is. Like, I like that it's the test is something very beyond how much weight can you lift and how far can you run. I dig that. It's exciting. It's short. It's a race with a story that's being told in front of you, and I appreciate that. Wasn't crazy about Danielle Brandon's reaction to winning it. Did you see that?
I saw her. I saw her like cross the finish line, but I didn't really pay attention after that.
Yeah, I wasn't super psyched about the 2 middle fingers to the crowd after she did it. Like
she seems like a bit of a head case.
She's 100% a head case. Yes. But I'm just like, look, I get it. Like your girl's got, your friends got kind of put in a difficult position. Now you have to be by yourself and all that. I get, but show a little bit of class. Like,
yeah.
CrossFit also could have easily just told you can't participate at all because you were exposed.
Right. Yeah, they could have.
CrossFit could have also said nobody participates unless they're vaccinated.
Fair
you know
enough.
what I mean? Like we've heard much worse from other organizations. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying they should. I'm not saying they should do that, but they could have done that, and a lot of people would have been like applauding them and patting them on the back for it too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
I didn't see her do that.
Yeah, but I guess you're a professional athlete in a coliseum. Emotions run high. I understand people. If I was in that position, I might say there's a good chance I would say or do something stupid too. So I was just like, yeah, not really a good look for you.
Yeah. Yep.
And then last event of the night, event 9. So we had 5 events today. And the longest event was a 16-minute time cap. Most athletes, I feel like we're getting that done in right around the 14-minute mark, give or take a minute.
Yeah.
And then we had pretty much 4 sub 8-minute workouts in a row. And the bike snatch was great. I would have probably liked it a little bit better tomorrow or Sunday. But it was kind of a fun workout. I get what he was trying to do with it. It was entertaining to watch. Pretty cool workout. Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah, no, I liked it as the final workout of the day. It was a long day. Let's bang out a 4-minute workout that's going to get everybody hyped. And I didn't put together the amount of short workouts there was, simply because I felt like the clean ladder was just one big workout. And so it didn't register in my head that we had 3 workouts that were 4 workouts that were 6 minutes and shorter.
Yeah. I mean, depending on who you are, 5 minutes or shorter, for your workouts today. So,
but there was a lot of long workouts yesterday. So, or 2 days ago.
Yeah. I never thought I'd say that, but it's now, just taking the 30,000 foot up view from the programming, just looking down at it, I'm like, I never thought you're not going to hear me say this that often, but I'm ready for a long grinder endurance workout.
Yeah.
Or it's just something in that 20 plus minute range.
They're going to need to do it at some point between tomorrow and Friday, or Sunday. So
yeah, I'm real curious what they're coming out the gate with for tomorrow morning. Very curious.
I hope it's not a gimmicky, like a sprint workout. I don't think he'll do that again, but because tomorrow there's only one workout before the cuts, right?
Yeah. So I'm hoping they do something like first cut style workout. Yeah. We're going to throw something at you that's very broad, very generalistic. The best CrossFitters will be the best at this. The weaker ones are going to be the worst at this. Heavy weights, monostructural, and a high scale gymnastic movement, something like that.
Yeah.
I think that would be probably the best way to go.
I agree.
And the longer, maybe the 15 to 20 minute range, probably a little bit better.
You can't have your last cut be on a workout where specialists win the workout.
Yes. Yeah, 100%. I hope they learned that lesson from 2019 with that godforsaken sprint workout they did to do the final cuts.
The sprint with the stupid ass out of bounds line.
What's that?
The sprint with a stupid ass out of bounds line.
So sour about that. Yeah, I'll tell you, one of the things I was impressed by, I know I've been on his jock a lot lately, but the fact that Fukowski won that bike snatch event, forget bouncing back from a bad event or whatever, but just that is not a word. I think it speaks true to when you look at the amount of event wins that Fukowski has. I think the thing that's so impressive at him is you can't, he's not a guy that you necessarily say would have a wheelhouse and that's where he wins. He's not Sam Briggs where we see a long run. Okay, Sam Briggs is a good shot to win this. Yeah. Whereas we've seen Fukowski win 21:15.9 bike and snatches. We saw him win the 2015 that box over one. Remember that one? Or 2016, the box jump over one.
With the D-ball?
Yeah, with the D-ball, that all-out sprint workout.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But then we also see him win the 7K trail run, and we see him win the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's just a very
he's much more well-rounded than I I wouldn't say this about him in the past necessarily, but this year I would say more well-rounded, and his strengths are much more noticeable than they have been.
Yeah, man. He's
he's impressed me thus far. Like, because he hasn't really bombed anywhere. Like this handstand workout, he could have really bombed it. And I mean, he didn't do well, but he didn't finish 37th place or something ridiculous.
I didn't know what to expect from him on that one. I just looked into it. So I was on my phone. The event 10 tomorrow is that run toe to bar one.
Do we know the logistics of the entire workout?
I didn't watch because I didn't watch the video Anna Paquin put out, but if I'm not mistaken, I think it's 30 toes to bar, 1.5 mile run, 30 toes to bar, 1.5 mile run, 30 toes to bar.
Yeah, I think that is it. But I don't know if I'll necessarily like that one either for a cut workout.
I don't have a problem with it, honestly. You know, Dave Castor is going to want to put running in on a cut workout. It's just such an important component of fitness, you know.
You know who that really hurts? Your boy, Mr. Scott Panchik, because he's not going to do well. Not going to do well for a mile and a half with those knees.
Oh yeah, that's not.
Can we just give him? For him. Can we just give him a pass? Like he deserves it.
Yeah, just let him get in there and just mix it up. You know.
It's like, Dave, just put me at 20 and just let me go the rest of the weekend.
So the people on the cut line for that workout tomorrow, Sam Cornier took a bath. Holy shit. So listen, so the 20 to 30 range, we got Sam Cornier, Cole Sager, Jay Crouch, Carone, Jason Smith, Brandon Luckett, and then we got Upanix Paulson, Luca, and Zach Watts. But there's some interesting names there trying to fight their way into that top 20.
There's a bunch of interesting names. Like even you said 20 to 30, but 17 to 19 is Chandler Smith, Jason Hopper, and Jeff Adler. It's like three pretty well-known names. So like,
yeah, I think Hopper's going to like that out. He's going to get into the top 20. He's just shown us that he can go long with plenty of success.
Yeah. I think Jeff Adler might be in trouble there. And
yes,
Chandler Smith has not shown me anything that would say that he like I would have thought that he'd be a good endurance athlete just based on his background, but like he hasn't shown me anything that would say that he is has good long workouts in him.
Oh, well, even more so, we've now seen him run twice. Okay, and they were short distance runs, and he looks immensely uncomfortable running. He does not look like a natural runner at all.
I think homeboy needs to lose about 10 pounds. He needs to lose about 10 pounds of muscle. He's too big.
Yeah, he might be, man.
He
might be putting on too much muscle. Women's side, a little bit less noteworthy. 20 to 30 we got, or in 20th place is Pacelli. 21 is Clifton. Then we got Turner, Dahlstrom, Riley, Michalation, Prevost, Briggs, Griffith, Lepanin, and Reagan Huckabee. So Briggs might fight her way into that top 20 just because of this dice roll she took.
Yeah, she is. She's like 80 points out or 70 points out of 20 though. So there'd have to be some real help, and she'd have to finish first. Which is
so
possible.
Then we got
she can do it.
Yeah. And then we got Rolf, Turi Helgadottir, Emma Carey, Ariel Lowen, Bailey Rail. They're on the other side. Could see some shaking up. I don't see Emily Rolf dropping out. She's a great runner. So
yeah, I think one to just keep an eye on is Emma Carey. She's like her and Mal O'Brien are kind of like the darlings of this year's game. So it'd be kind of a bummer to see her fall out and get cut.
But I knew it was going to be like this for them, man, just because their age, their inexperience, like you knew they were going to have high highs and low lows. Like they were just going to get stuff that was just going to be a goat for them. You know what I'm saying? And I think especially with Emma Carey, but for both of them, we've seen this just like, yeah, they're great at this skill, not super strong at this skill, you know? And even if it's not even a fitness thing like this, maybe their preparation, just not used to the short recovery time, kind of getting carted from here to here, you know what I mean? Out of their routine. There's a myriad of things that can come into play there.
Oh yeah.
And speaking of those teenagers, this is one thing I did want to talk about. I meant to talk about this when we were talking about Christiana O'Connell and how magnificently impressive she has been. I think this further hits home on the point that we were talking about previously, that like with this semifinal system they have, it's great. I have no issue with it, but CrossFit probably does need to step in and regulate it a little bit better, because Christy Aram O'Connell did not qualify for the CrossFit Games out of her semifinal. She had to get into the last chance qualifier, and at one point she was in second place in the fucking whole big dance.
Yeah, and she's ahead of everybody she lost to at the Granite Games. Right.
Everybody that beat her at the Granite Games, she is currently beating.
Yeah.
So that should probably tell you there's somewhat of a fallacy in the programming at the Granite Games.
Yeah. No, we've already talked about this, but they need to figure that out, because they need to figure that out going forward.
Rumor has it, though, they're going to circulate the semifinal host.
Really?
Rumor. I don't think it's true, but I heard a rumor that they're going to change who's hosting semifinals from year to year.
I mean, they could. There's plenty of hosts that could put on good events, good quality events.
Yeah. But I'm like, I'm kind of fine with them keeping it, because I'm actually kind of excited for this potential like B season of like Rogue, WADA, Dubai, like bang, 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 all in a row.
They didn't even have WADA or Dubai or Rogue.
Right. So I'm kind of excited for like when winter rolls around, we're going to see all those, or like, or whenever,
I think
they might have exciting.
I feel like they might have just been saying that because it's like, all right, we're going to circulate, but we're just going to kick out the ones that are not as good as Rogue, WADA, and Dubai. And we're just going to end it there.
Didn't you hear the whole rumor as to why Rogue and WADA aren't involved?
Mm-mm.
Apparently, I've heard this rumor a few times now. CrossFit wasn't gonna, like, CrossFit was mandating the prize money, and Rogue and Wadapalooza and Dubai or whoever, they wanted to provide more money to the athletes, and CrossFit was like, no, we want this systemized across the board.
It kind of sucks that they're trying to do that, but
well, I'm curious who's paying it, because if CrossFit's paying it, then like, now fuck you, we're in charge of who's paying, like who's getting paid what. If the event is paying it, my only issue with, like, do we want to set up a system where certain events pay dramatically more money than other events do? It's just a question. It's just, I don't have a stance. It's just a question. Is it a good thing for let's just forget the sport for a minute. Is it a good thing for the athletes if athletes are disproportionately drawn to specific events over other events? And is it unfair to the athletes? Think about this. If Rogue is going to pay $50,000 to the winner, but BKG can't go to that event because it's an American event.
Yeah, it's a good question.
One
that we should dive deeper into it another time.
All right, we'll wrap it up from there. Thanks for jumping on, Dunc. We will do this again tomorrow. Thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for tuning in on YouTube. If you guys are out there listening, please feel free to shoot us a DM on Instagram, on Facebook. Get a hold of us. We love hearing from our listeners. See you tomorrow, everyone.